do you anticipate between Sanders and Warren tonight? Do they deliberately play nice? Is this sort of a pressure point between the two? What do you anticipate?
Well, Peter, you made the right point before. For a year, these two candidates laid off each other. They held each other close. They didn't attack each other. They tried to align on a lot of policy issues. And now here we are in easily the most important debate of the cycle so far. We're here in Iowa. It's the last time that Iowans are going to get a good look at these candidates all on the same stage. A lot of pressure, stakes really high, and now they're in the middle of this giant fight, which was started over the weekend when Bernie Sanders and his campaign, not Bernie Sanders directly himself, but his campaign, distributed some talking points about Elizabeth Warren that made her campaign very upset. Then the story came out, and now you are in a situation where Senator Sanders and Senator Warren are effectively calling each other liars about this incident. And I think that both of them might prefer, as Senator Warren said, to kind of move on from this. But I don't think that's going to be possible given the heat around it. Both campaigns are very upset. Both campaigns feel as though they're challenging each other. The candidates are in a pretty fundamental way. Bernie Sanders said that the sources close to Warren were lying. And now, as I said, Elizabeth Warren in her statement effectively says Bernie Sanders is lying. So this is going to come up at the debate, I know. And they may try to tamp this down, but I don't know how effective that will be. One of the things that happens in these debates, Peter, is that your strategy is one thing, and then you get hit in the face, as Mike Tyson famously said, and emotions are going to be high on this stage. So they may have a plan for this, but that plan may go haywire pretty quick once they get into the heat of the moment.
And Corinne, many progressives are hoping these two will make peace very quickly here. This is from Democracy for America, one of the groups that said the following in a tweet. Bernie Sanders and Elizabeth Warren, you both are progressives. You both are progressive champs, and our movement needs to see you working together to defeat your corporate Dem opponents, not attack each other. Progressives will win in 2020, but only if we do not let the corporate wing or Trump divide us. This is a real moment of risk for progressives, isn't it?
I think it's a real moment of risk for all of them. I think, as we've seen over and over again, the Democratic base does not want to see a fight. What they want to see is how you are going to beat Donald Trump. He is the real target in all of this. And I think that's why, if you look at this primary in its totality, you have not seen any ads attacking each other, attacking the other candidates. And that's unheard of for a primary. And you haven't seen that again because it hasn't worked. And I think that is the thing that these candidates need to understand. I do believe that tonight on the debate stage, while it will be hard, they are not going to, this is Bernie and Elizabeth Warren, I don't think they're going to try to attack each other. And yes, it might be high, and they, everything that we've heard these last couple of days, which has been very odd because, like you said, they had this non-aggression pact that people have talked about. But I don't think they're going to go after each other. You pretty much have seen Bernie Sanders telegraphing that he's going to go on Social Security with Biden. And you, even in that statement that you read, Peter, Elizabeth Warren seemed to be walking back, saying that she's not going to attack Bernie Sanders. But it all remains to be seen.
Yeah, she said she's not going to attack Bernie Sanders after publicly contradicting what he had said previous to that. This is how the New York Times, Heidi, analyzes this. They said mom and dad are fighting. Left-wing Democrats lament Sanders-Warren rift. They write, in polls, the combined voter support for Miss Warren and Mr. Sanders has represented a plurality that is larger than Mr. Biden's support for months. But many on the left worry that despite the comedy that characterized much of their interactions with each other in 2019, the zero-sum nature of the primary would eventually force each camp to try to undermine the other's support at the ballot box. The latest episode has only deepened those concerns. That's the frustration for progressives. You put the two together and you may have a unbeatable force.
It was easy to have non-aggression when there were many people on the stage. They are in the exact same space, not exact same, because Warren appeals to a lot of these older voters. And this is why I think that older female voters, and this is why I think it's so dangerous, this issue of the gender tension, because it kind of dredges up some of the worst feelings from 2016. I covered Hillary Clinton's campaign, and there was a sense from some of the older women there who were volunteering for her, for example, in New Hampshire, that, hey, why do you guys always talk about the female gender gap for Hillary Clinton? Bernie actually had a huge male gap in New Hampshire. And if you went to his rally, rallies, it was filled with a lot of young men. And at the same time, there was a sense that Hillary wasn't treated fairly on the debate stage. There was that time in Las Vegas when Bernie shushed her, and that became a huge thing online. There was a sense from Hillary's people that Bernie could go up on a rally and yell and be animated, and if Hillary did the same thing, then she'd be considered shrill. So it does dredge up some of these bad feelings from 2016.
Hey there, I'm Chris Hayes from MSNBC. Thanks for watching MSNBC on YouTube. If you want to keep up to date with the videos we're putting out, you can click subscribe just below me or click over on this list to see lots of other great videos.